Attention, people of Stanton.
Attention, this is a CDF call to action for the Stanton Cisco at the request of the UAE Navy.
We are the ones in charge. We are Xenothreat.
Star Citizen Alpha 3.12.1 is now live, and the Assault on Stanton event is gearing up. So what does that mean? And after we talk about that, we'll look at the patch notes for this patch as well. Assault on Stanton is the first in a series of more major events, but also leads to Cloud Imperium improving annual events like Invictus Launch Week and enabling patch-exclusive adventures and battles. Dynamic events are sure to shake things up in the verse. During this event, you'll progress through a number of phases while defending the Stanton system from incursion. An outlaw group known as Xenothreat has launched a campaign of violence in the Stanton system, and the Navy has requested the CDF, Civil Defense Force, or Citizens Defense Force, I can't remember which, support to help combat the Scourge. Preaching a viciously anti-UE and alien-phobic rhetoric, Xenothreat forces have been responsible for dozens of attacks against civilian and corporate structures. It looks like they're gearing up to the event in more ways than one as well. So there is a ship sale going on that's just gone live. You can currently grab some ships from the website. The Arrow, Gladius, Buccaneer, Gladiator, Sabre, Cutlass Blue, Super Hornet, Vanguard Warden, Sentinel and Harbinger, Retaliator Bomber, and Eclipse. So as you can expect for this relatively combat-heavy event, there is a lot of combat and military-type ships. So you can grab those ships in-game as well, please bear that in mind. But there's also a message about the impending start of the event, which isn't truly live yet, so bear that in mind. At least at time of recording, when I was jumping into the game, there was no priority mission available, but they have said outlaw forces identified as Xenothreat recently attacked a corporate convoy headed for the Terra system. They destroyed all the cargo and publicly executed the crew as collaborators of corporate greed. The UE Navy has dispatched an armed response to deal with this threat. Navy intelligence reports have also picked up additional Xenothreat hostiles on the periphery of the system, with an indeterminate force on an intercept course for Stanton. Estimated arrival is 24 to 48 hours. The Civil Defense Force has been raised to provide support for naval forces against the imminent threat. If you would like to volunteer, please mark to your Mobigas contract manager for a debriefing, or briefing I suppose, when it becomes available. It looks like the phases might be coming, but not immediately. Looks like they might be stepped in, and there is a little website showing the current phase for Xenothreat. So this is interesting. In the tests, it's sort of like the idea was the phases would, as soon as you completed one of the phases, they could move into the next one. So maybe that's still the case, but maybe it's the case that it's going to be stepped in, and it will be sort of like an hour in the next phase, an hour in the next phase. So we'll have to sort of wait and see what happens with that. So yeah, check out your Mobiglass, check out the priority tab there. You'll have the Xenothreat mission there from Rowena Dooley to come and report for duty. That is when the mission is live. It's not currently live at time of recording, so if you're waiting for it, well, you might be waiting for a long time. Just bear that in mind. It's 24 to 48 hours, it sounds like. For those of you that want to know when the event goes live, you'll have to go to a gas cloud by Jericho Station, which is a new location in the standard system, or at least a newly travelable to location by Quantum. And then there's the gas cloud there. You'll go there, clear some Starfarer wrecks out of pirates and pirates sort of in the area, and then you'll open up those Starfarers and move cargo from the Starfarers, lots of cargo, hopefully in a quite a large group or with lots of other people helping together on the server, from those wrecks to Jericho Station and sell it there, defending the Javelin that's requiring resupply at Jericho Station at the same time, and that can be attacked separately. The cargo containers can be attacked separately, all that sort of jazz. Once that's all complete and you've resupplied that Javelin, you'll then attack the Xenothreat fleet. There's a lot going on with Idrises and fleet battles and Javelins and things like that, so it's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the 3.12.1 live patch notes. They have reduced the server player cap to 40. This appears to get the event more playable and stable, potentially. They've also removed Delamar from the Stanton system. Obviously, Delamar and Nevsky, they're not supposed to be in the Stanton system anyway, but again, this could help with stability and performance on the servers. EVA quality of life updates have been made with improvements to how live ragdoll physics are handled, and they've greatly increased the angular acceleration of thruster packs. PvE and PvP bounty missions will now fail if the hunter is killed by the bounty. Polish pass on names and location descriptions of various bounty missions and North Rock PvP bounty missions have been made. They've temporarily removed patrol missions. They've reduced starting inventory levels of multiple commodities at the trade terminals to prevent their inventory from being constantly maxed out. That is incredibly important, and you should actually now be able to trade again. They've increased inventory and refresh rate of all shops' items to reduce the frequency that items run out of stock as well. We've increased the availability of prison repair missions. They made further optimizations to help with AI flight movement when server frame rate is erratic, so AI will act more appropriately and less dumb. They've moved exit interaction locations on the retaliator bunk beds to make it more easily found. There are some major bug fixes as well that I'll mention here. In fact, most of this patch, other than Xeno threat being added and the Javelin and Idris fights and some cool little mission stuff, is these major bug fixes. Chat order should no longer become reversed when going into the Moby-Glass. They fixed an issue causing the claim function to not be available at ASOP terminals, and an issue causing ships to not be able to be restocked. Vehicle damage charges should no longer be given to the wrong players when ships collide. They fixed an issue causing the fuel in tanks on the Mercury Star Runner to scoop less than intended amounts of fuel. They fixed an issue that could cause a player's ship to enter a state where it cannot be retrieved, although this is also mentioned in known issues. They fixed an issue that was causing prison kiosks to give a failed transaction message. They fixed an issue causing players to get a broken multi-tool if they were sent to prison as well. Shields should no longer be able to be penetrated by laser scatter guns just immediately. Talon Shrikes should no longer become unable to fire missiles. The C-788 cannon should now correctly deal damage against friendly targets. Multiple FPS weapons should no longer be able to shoot through walls. They fixed an issue with server FPS causing enemy fighters to change direction instantly and have unnatural behavior. So some of this is perceived desync that they fixed. The items dropped or placed by players should no longer immediately disappear. Player ships should no longer become unresponsive after mining an FPS deposit. Turrets at rest stops should now respawn correctly after being destroyed. We fixed an issue causing turrets to not spawn properly for the claim dumper missions, and an issue causing the players to not be given a mission progression counter when they arrive at claim jumper missions. Bounty targets should no longer take a long time to spawn once the location has been reached by the player. Players should no longer be able to clip through the hull of an Idris and steal it. That is a shame, but obviously needed to be fixed. Otherwise, the Xeno threat missions would be quite easy when you just nick the Idris. The mission named A Very Good Difficult Task should no longer be immediately completed. They've increased the payout to the intended amount of 45,000 Alpha UEC for successfully completing the Capture Arlington Gang Leader mission. When another player, a second player, arrives at a bounty location without the mission objective, the marker should no longer read the last known location for a brief moment. They fixed an issue causing more than the intended amount of reinforcements to sometimes spawn for easy bounty hunting missions, so no more getting multiple hammerheads when you're doing an easy mission. They fixed an issue that made wheeled vehicles too easy to get stuck on their side, and an issue causing weapon rays to not work near objects while in EVA. The Andromeda landing gear deploy animations should now fully play. Players should be able to use the interaction system to power the Nox, and should be able to no longer duplicate mined gems infinitely. That's a good fix, because that was a terrible exploit which threatened to have the whole servers and sort of persistent database entirely reset. I hope that players that were sort of exploiting that aggressively have had their money reduced and just sort of maybe they had their accounts briefly wiped, persistence wiped before this patch. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't actually heard anything on that. They fixed an issue causing players to not be able to exit ground vehicle remote turrets. There should no longer be a chance that no audio or video will go through a call from a player who's on a planet's surface. The exit screen when closing a refinery terminal should now display correctly. Eclipse torpedo animations should now correctly play when firing. The CRU L5 quantum travel should no longer be obstructed from most planets and moons. And they fixed 14 client crashes, 10 server crashes, and 2 main thread deadlocks, as well as some back-end shop service optimizations. So hopefully the shops and ship terminals and all that sort of stuff will be a little more snappy. There are 2 other known issues other than the one I mentioned previously. Some items that should be kept after a character reset can be lost. That is annoying, actually. And lighting and shadow issues are affecting players that are using AMD 6800 and 6900 graphics cards. However, some people have said that they haven't had these issues, and I think it might be down to graphics drivers, but hopefully Cloud Imperium will sort that out very quickly with a little tiny mini hotfix sorting those out. The patch on paper is actually pretty solid. However, I haven't had a chance to play the Xenothreat missions on the live build yet, mainly because they weren't on when I jumped in to have a look. It's incoming, probably in hours, is what I'm expecting. By the time you watch this, it might be there, and you might be able to jump in with a phase of the Xenothreat missions. This patch should be pretty stable, pretty optimized, and have a huge amount of the bugs solved. So hopefully you're going to have a great time with it. And please tell me if you do or you don't. And if there's a load of bugs that you're encountering that you haven't had before, tell me. If you're having an absolutely amazing time, tell me. I sort of want to know your story. Are you looking forward to Xenothreat? Are you playing Xenothreat stuff now? What's it like? Did you have a great time? Do you have a bad time? Are there loads of PvP players jumping around and ruining your experience? Or are people sort of like getting involved and having a load of fun with it? Yeah, as I said, tell me your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks very much for watching. I think it's potentially a great time to get involved with Star Citizen starting this weekend, so consider downloading it if you've taken a break just to see what the Xenothreat missions are like, and maybe jump into an org, maybe get some friends playing. It's a shame that there's no free fly event currently, but I'll update you on that if something changes. Yeah, check it out. Remember, you can get all these ships in-game as well, so you only need a starter package, and beyond that, you can rent anything. Maybe you can be a gunner or an FPS boy on the ground helping out with some of these missions, so I'm interested to know how you play as well. So again, tell me how you play, what sort of role you want to do in the comments below. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and February is no different. This month is for a Mercury Star Runner. It's a multi-role ship, but also a solid data and cargo runner, and flyable now in-game. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during a month. Details below. I'm also a massive shill for NordVPN. If you are looking for a VPN service, and you should, then NordVPN acts as a fleet of ships protecting your data from prying eyes while also providing privacy like a ship would. Enjoy the interwebs without borders, securely and safely. Use the links below for discount. I can't promise it will make your life better, but I can imply that. Also, there is Game Glass. Do you have a touchscreen device that you want to use as a diegetic controller or interactive panel for Star Citizen and other games? Check out Game Glass. It's free for life for the basic version, and you can buy additional shards or functionality or subscribe for more as well. A special thank you for everyone that goes the extra mile to become a channel member or Patreon, as well as just liking and subscribing or sharing these videos. If you would like to further support the channel, then please consider using the YouTube join button below my videos and becoming a BoredGamer channel member. You'll get some exclusive content each month, as well as badges that appear in the comments section of videos and emotes that you can use and all that sort of jazz. Thank you so much for checking out my content. You take care, and I hope to see you in the verse.